of R&D in Africa's largest economies, focusing on its impact on economic development and its consequences on global trade. By the role of research and development in Africa's biggest economies, consequences on global trade. 1. Introduction. Africa is home to some of the world's fastest growing economies, with countries like Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt, Kenya, and Morocco emerging as key players in the global market. However, despite this economic growth, these countries face significant challenges in maintaining their competitive edge, both regionally and internationally. One critical factor that has the potential to shape the future of these economies is their investment in research and development (R&D). R&D, which encompasses scientific research, technological development, and innovation, plays a vital role in the modern knowledge-based economy. It is a driving force behind technological advancement, industrial growth, and global competitiveness. In developed countries, robust R&D ecosystems have led to groundbreaking innovations that have reshaped industries and global trade patterns. Africa's biggest economies, despite their vast potential, have traditionally lagged in R&D investment, a gap that limits their integration into the global economy at a high level. This essay explores the role of R&D in Africa's largest economies, focusing on its impact on economic development and its consequences on global trade. By examining the current state of R&D in countries like Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt, Kenya, and Morocco, this paper will highlight the opportunities and challenges faced by these nations. Additionally, it will explore how increased R&D investment could enhance their positions in global trade. 2. Overview of Africa's biggest economies. Africa's largest economies are diverse in terms of industrial focus, natural resources, and levels of economic development. Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, boasts the continent's largest economy, largely driven by its oil and gas sector. South Africa, the second largest economy, has a more diversified economy with strong sectors in mining, manufacturing, and financial services. Egypt, situated at the crossroads of Africa and the Middle East, has a growing economy driven by its strategic geographic location and strong industrial base. Kenya, the economic hub of East Africa, has emerged as a leader in technology and innovation, while Morocco has established itself as a key player in North African trade and manufacturing. Economic structure and key industries. Nigeria's economy is predominantly driven by its oil and gas industry, which accounts for the majority of its export revenues. However, agriculture, telecommunications, and the emerging tech sector also play important roles. South Africa's economy is more diversified, with significant contributions from mining, manufacturing, and services. Egypt, a manufacturing and trade hub, has developed strong sectors in construction, chemicals, textiles, and tourism. Kenya's economy has become known for its innovation in mobile technology and agriculture, while Morocco's industrial policy focuses on automotive, aerospace, and renewable energy. R&D in these economies is crucial for moving beyond traditional sectors such as oil, mining, and agriculture, and fostering innovation in high-value industries like technology, pharmaceuticals, and renewable energy. Increased R&D investment could drive long-term economic transformation and enable these countries to compete more effectively in global markets. 3. The role of R&D in economic growth. Research and development development, R&D, plays a transformative role in economic growth, primarily by fostering innovation, improving productivity, and promoting technological advancement. For economies in Africa, particularly its biggest ones like Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt, Kenya, and Morocco, increased investment in R&D can lead to more efficient industrial processes, the creation of high-value goods, and improved services, making them more competitive on the global stage. The relationship between R&D, innovation, and economic development. There is a direct correlation between R&D and economic development, as seen in the experience of developed and newly industrialized countries. Investments in R&D enhance the ability of countries to generate new knowledge, develop technological innovations, and apply these innovations to various sectors of the economy. By doing so, they increase productivity, create new markets, and ensure long-term economic sustainability. In Africa, the need for innovation-driven development is pressing, given the region's diverse socio-economic challenges. Many African economies are still heavily reliant on natural resources and raw material exports. This leaves them vulnerable to fluctuating commodity prices and external shocks. R&D has the potential to mitigate these vulnerabilities by enabling the diversification of economic activities and the development of sectors that rely on knowledge and technology rather than finite natural resources. Case studies of successful R&D-driven economies. Countries like South Korea and Singapore serve as exemplary cases of economies that have utilized R&D to drive growth. Both nations, despite having limited natural resources, have transformed into high-income economies by strategically investing in R&D. South Korea, for instance, channeled significant funds into electronics, automotive, and biotechnology sectors, making the country a leader in high-tech innovation. Singapore has become a global financial and technological hub through heavy investment in research, education, and innovation policies. These countries exemplify how R&D can lift economies from low to high income status. For Africa, following similar paths could result in substantial benefits. However, this would require increased spending on education, infrastructure, and creating environments conducive to innovation, including solid intellectual property protection systems, a well-funded university and research sector, and private-public partnerships in research initiatives. The potential for growth in Africa's economies through increased R&D. Africa's largest economies have the potential to leverage R&D for high-impact growth. With appropriate investments in R&D, these nations can enhance their global competitiveness, diversify their economies, and reduce reliance on external assistance. Key sectors such as agriculture, energy, healthcare, and information technology present significant opportunities for R&D-based development. Agriculture remains the backbone of many African economies. R&D in areas such as seed technology, sustainable farming methods, and agricultural mechanization can lead to higher productivity and food security. Healthcare and pharmaceuticals. In the healthcare sector, R&D can enable the production of local solutions for diseases that predominantly affect the region. R&D in pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, and medical equipment could reduce dependency on imported healthcare solutions and stimulate the local industry. Energy. Africa's vast natural resources present immense opportunities for R&D, particularly in the renewable energy sector. Solar, wind, and hydropower offer solutions to Africa's energy deficit, and R&D in these areas could reduce the region's dependence on fossil fuels and contribute to global sustainability goals. goals. Technology and innovation. The ICT sector, especially in countries like Kenya, is rapidly growing. R&D in information technology, artificial intelligence, and telecommunications can accelerate Africa's digital transformation, providing solutions to local challenges while integrating the continent more deeply into global value chains. 4. R&D in Nigeria. Overview of Nigeria's economy. Nigeria is Africa's largest economy by GDP, primarily driven by its oil and gas sector, which accounts for over 90% of its export revenue and around 60% of government revenue. However, the country has been working to diversify its economy, with increasing focus on agriculture, telecommunications, manufacturing, and technology. The Nigerian government has set goals for economic diversification, as the volatility of oil prices has repeatedly led to economic recession. Despite its economic size, Nigeria lags behind in R&D investment, which is crucial for achieving its diversification goals and fostering sustainable long-term growth. The Nigerian government recognizes the importance of innovation, but the country continues to face challenges in translating this recognition into substantial action. Current state of R&D in Nigeria. Nigeria's R&D spending is considerably low compared to global standards, with expenditures hovering around 0.2% of GDP, far below the African Union's recommendation of 1%, and even further below the levels of countries like South Korea, 4.6%, and Israel, 4.5%. Most of the country's R&D activities are concentrated in government research institutes and universities, but they suffer from underfunding, poor infrastructure, and a lack of collaboration with the private sector. Nigeria has established research institutions in fields such as agriculture, medicine, and engineering, but these institutes often lack the resources needed to drive meaningful innovation. Moreover, there is a limited presence of high-tech industries that can commercialize research outcomes. Key sectors benefiting from R&D investment. Despite the challenges, several sectors in Nigeria are beginning to see the benefits of R&D, and there is growing potential for further development. Agriculture. R&D in agriculture is critical for Nigeria, given that the sector employs about 70% of the population. And initiatives such as improving seed quality, developing climate-resistant crops, and introducing modern agricultural technologies are vital for increasing productivity and ensuring food security. The International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, in Ibadan, for example, is making strides in agricultural research, developing solutions to improve yields and tackle pest and disease problems in staple crops. Technology and ICT. Nigeria's tech sector, particularly in the areas of fintech, e-commerce, and mobile technology, is growing rapidly. Lagos, often referred to as Africa's Silicon Valley, has seen the rise of successful startups such as Flutterwave and Paystack, which have benefited from tech-driven innovation. Although tech R&D is still in its nascent stages, the sector holds significant promise for growth, particularly if further investment is channeled into innovation hubs, software development, and artificial intelligence. Healthcare. Nigeria faces significant healthcare challenges, including infectious diseases, maternal health, and infant mortality. R&D in healthcare is critical for addressing these issues, particularly in the areas of pharmaceuticals and vaccine development. The Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, NIMR, and the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, are key players in healthcare R&D, working to improve local capacity in drug research and development. Challenges and opportunities. Nigeria's key challenges in advancing R&D include insufficient funding, a lack of skilled researchers, poor infrastructure, and limited collaboration between academic research and the private sector. Additionally, political instability and corruption have hindered consistent government support for R&D initiatives. However, the country's growing tech ecosystem, large and youthful population, and strategic position as Africa's largest economy offer significant opportunities. If Nigeria can successfully mobilize resources and foster collaboration between the public and private sectors, the country could emerge as a leader in African innovation. 5. R&D in South Africa. South Africa's economic landscape. South Africa is the second largest economy in Africa and has the most diversified industrial base on the continent. The country's economy is centered on industries such as mining, manufacturing, financial services, and technology. South Africa has historically been a leader in R&D on the continent, with strong research institutions, a robust education system, and significant government support for innovation. Current investment in R&D and its impact on technology and innovation. South Africa spends approximately 0.8% of its GDP on R&D, making it one of the highest spenders in Africa, although still below the global average. The country's research institutions are active in sectors such as mining, agriculture, biotechnology, and renewable energy, and the government has enacted policies aimed at promoting innovation, such as the National Research and Development Strategy, NRDS, and the 10-year Innovation Plan. Technological innovation is evident in sectors such as telecommunications and energy. For example, South Africa is a leader in mobile technology adoption and development on the continent, with companies like Vodacom and Mountain pioneering mobile solutions that have reshaped communication across Africa. In energy, South Africa has made notable advancements in renewable energy technologies, with projects such as the Renewable Energy Independent Power Producer Procurement Program, REIPPP, driving the country's transition to cleaner energy sources. Role of universities and research institutions. South Africa boasts some of the best universities and research institutions in Africa, such as the University of Cape Town, Stellenbosch University, and the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. These institutions are at the forefront of R&D efforts, contributing to breakthroughs in fields such as biotechnology, space science, and artificial intelligence. Collaboration between universities and the private sector is a key strength of South Africa's R&D ecosystem, with partnerships often leading to the commercialization of research outcomes. Government initiatives and policies promoting R&D. The South African government has been proactive in promoting R&D through various initiatives and policies. The 10-year Innovation Plan, launched in 2008, focuses on 5 grand challenges: the bioeconomy, space science, energy security, climate change, and human and social dynamics. These challenges align with the country's broader economic development goals and aim to position South Africa as a knowledge-based economy by 2028. Moreover, tax incentives for businesses investing in R&D have been introduced to encourage private sector participation in innovation. However, despite these efforts, challenges remain, including bureaucratic inefficiencies, limited access to funding for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, and a skills gap in critical industries. 9. Consequences of R&D on global trade in Africa's biggest economies. The development of research and innovation systems in Africa's largest economies, Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt, Kenya, and Morocco, can significantly impact global trade. These countries, when properly leveraging R&D, can become major players in global value chains, influencing sectors from agriculture and pharmaceuticals to technology and manufacturing. Their innovation efforts can reshape Africa's role in the global economy, moving beyond reliance on raw materials to the production of higher value goods and services. 1. Diversification of exports. Historically, many African countries have relied on exporting raw materials and natural resources, such as oil, minerals, and agricultural products. These economies have been vulnerable to fluctuations in global commodity prices, leading to economic instability. However, R&D can help African economies diversify their export portfolios by creating new industries and improving the value-added component of their exports. For example, Nigeria, with its large investments in fintech, ICT, and agriculture, has the potential to shift from being a predominantly oil-dependent economy to one that exports high-tech services, innovative agricultural products, and knowledge-based goods. Similarly, Egypt and Morocco are already moving toward more industrialized export profiles through the development of automotive and aerospace sectors, driven by R&D advancements. By investing in R&D, African countries can produce and export sophisticated goods such as pharmaceuticals, technological solutions, and renewable energy equipment, increasing their value in global trade. This shift would also reduce their reliance on importing these goods from other regions, promoting self-sufficiency and improving trade balances. 2. Integration into global value chains. R&D can enhance African economies' integration into global value chains by improving their ability to produce intermediate goods and specialized services. As African countries develop their industries through R&D, they will become more attractive partners for international corporations seeking to expand their supply chains. For instance, South Africa and Morocco, with strong industrial bases in automotive and aerospace manufacturing, are already integrated into global value chains, supplying parts and components to major corporations like Renault, Peugeot, and Boeing. R&D investments in these sectors can improve product quality, reduce production costs, and boost competitiveness, allowing these countries to capture a larger share of global markets. Furthermore, R&D in technology and agriculture can enable countries like Kenya and Egypt to contribute innovative solutions to global challenges such as food security, renewable energy, and sustainable development. The global demand for high-tech solutions in areas like agri-tech, clean tech, and health tech is growing, and African economies that Increased competitiveness in key sectors. R&D-driven innovation is a critical factor in enhancing competitiveness in international markets. African economies that invest in R&D are better positioned to compete globally in key sectors, from agriculture to manufacturing and services. By developing cutting-edge technologies, improving production processes, and increasing efficiency, African companies can lower costs, increase output, and offer products that meet global standards. In agriculture, for example, R&D can enable African countries to develop high-yield, climate-resilient crops, making them more competitive in global food markets. Kenya's leadership in agri-tech and Nigeria's growing focus on agricultural innovation demonstrate the potential for African economies to export agricultural products that are not only competitive, but also meet international quality and sustainability standards. In manufacturing, sectors such as automotive, electronics, and renewable energy offer vast potential for African countries to compete globally, particularly if they continue to invest in R&D. Morocco's growth in the automotive industry, supported by R&D in electric vehicles and renewable energy technologies, is a prime example of how Africa can compete in high-value industrial sectors. 4. Attraction of foreign direct investment, FDI. R&D efforts can significantly boost foreign direct investment, FDI, by creating a more attractive environment for multinational corporations. Companies looking to expand their operations or establish new production facilities seek regions with strong R&D capabilities, access to skilled labor, and a favorable innovation ecosystem. Countries like South Africa, Egypt, and Morocco, with their growing R&D sectors, have already seen an increase in FDI in industries such as automotive, aerospace, and renewable energy. For instance, Morocco's industrial acceleration plan and investments in solar energy have attracted significant FDI from international firms looking to establish a foothold in North Africa's renewable energy market. In the technology sector, Kenya's reputation as the Silicon Savannah has attracted investment from major technology companies such as Google, IBM, and Microsoft, which have established research centers and innovation hubs in Nairobi. Similarly, Nigeria's fintech sector has attracted significant venture capital from international investors, fueling the growth of startups like Flutterwave and Paystack. By continuing to invest in R&D, African countries can further enhance their attractiveness to foreign investors, creating jobs, transferring technology, and boosting their economies. The influx of FDI not only brings capital but also fosters knowledge exchange, helping African companies to innovate and improve their products and services for global markets. 5. Strengthened regional integration and intra-Africa trade. R&D has the potential to strengthen regional integration and intra-African trade through the development of new industries and the promotion of knowledge sharing across borders. The African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, which aims to create a single market for goods and services across the continent, provides an ideal framework for enhancing regional collaboration in R&D and innovation. Countries with advanced R&D capabilities, such as South Africa and Kenya, can serve as innovation hubs for neighboring countries, providing technical expertise, research collaboration, and technological solutions to shared challenges. This could lead to the creation of regional innovation ecosystems, where African countries collaborate on R&D projects in areas like agriculture, healthcare, healthcare, and renewable energy. For example, R&D in sustainable agriculture can help address food security challenges across the continent, while joint research initiatives in renewable energy can accelerate Africa's transition to a low-carbon economy. By fostering regional collaboration and R&D, African countries can reduce their dependence on imports from outside the continent and increase the share of intra-African trade in key sectors. 6. Creation of knowledge-based economies. The long-term impact of R&D on global trade for Africa's biggest economies will be the transformation from resource-dependent economies to knowledge-based economies. Countries that invest in R&D will be able to produce and export high-value goods and services, rather than relying on the extraction and export of raw materials. This transition will be critical for Africa's long-term economic sustainability and its ability to compete in the global marketplace. Countries like South Africa and Egypt are already making strides in this direction, with investments in biotechnology, pharmaceuticals, and renewable energy driving the development of new industries. Kenya's growing tech sector and Morocco's advancements in aerospace and automotive manufacturing also demonstrate the potential for African economies to become knowledge-based. As these countries continue to invest in R&D, they will become exporters of innovation, contributing to global technological advancement and competing with established knowledge economies in Europe, Asia, and North America. This shift will not only enhance Africa's role in global trade, but also improve the living standards and economic prospects for millions of people across the continent. 7. Potential challenges in global trade integration. Despite the clear benefits of R&D for Africa's integration into global trade, several challenges remain. These include infrastructure gaps. Many African countries still face significant infrastructure challenges, particularly in transportation, energy, and digital connectivity. These gaps can hinder the commercialization of research and limit the ability of African economies to fully participate in global value chains. Limited access to funding. R&D requires substantial investment, and many African governments struggle to allocate sufficient funds to research and innovation. While international donors and private investors can help fill this gap, sustained government support is essential for long-term success. Skills shortages. A lack of skilled researchers and technical experts in critical sectors is another challenge for African countries seeking to expand their R&D capabilities. Investments in education and training are needed to develop the human capital necessary to support innovation and economic growth. Regulatory barriers, weak intellectual property protection, bureaucratic inefficiencies, and regulatory barriers can hinder innovation and discourage investment in R&D. African countries need to strengthen their regulatory frameworks to support innovation and protect the rights of inventors and entrepreneurs.